Here we go. Page 24A3 at the bottom. Amar Rava. Rava says, Avel mitayel be'unkali b'toch beto. So a person who's a Avel, who's mourning on Shabbat, he goes around in his house wearing the shirt that's torn from the Shiva. Okay? Now, why is he saying that? Shabbat, what are you doing? How come you're doing Avelut? How come you're doing mourning? The answer is, because it's in private. Rava holds, you do Avelut in private, in the privacy of your home. So you're going around the house, you should be wearing the torn shirt on Shabbat. Abaye, Ashkechel Rav Yosef. Abaye found Rav Yosef, who was his Rebbe. De Paris le Sudarab Areshe. He had a handkerchief wrapped on his head. Why do you have a handkerchief wrapped on his head? We already talked about the idea that their head was wrapped. Yes, exactly. And that was the way the mourners went. Right. So also, same idea. He was going and coming within his own home. Amalei Abaye said to him, Lav Savar Lemar, Avelut b'Shabbat, don't you agree that we can't do Avelut on Shabbat? Amalei said, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan, this is what Rabbi Yochanan said, Devarim shebetzina noheg, when it's something which is a private matter, i.e., the mourning is a mourning of private, it's not something that anyone else could see or notice or understand, then noheg, it is in practice. To be clear, what Rabbi Yochanan now is telling us is that not only, we said earlier, that he has an option to do them on Shabbat if they're in private. That was what we said last time. Here we're telling you something new, that not only do you have an option to do it, but you're obligated to do it.
So he goes to shul Saturday morning. He takes it. Hold on. He goes to shul Saturday morning. He puts on no rip, new shirt, a shirt that's not ripped. Puts on leather shoes. He cleans it. He looks good for Shabbat. Goes home. Changes.
Yes.
Puts on the ripped shirt.
Correct.
And the thing, and he,
correct.
Outside the spirit of the Shabbat, though. Right?
Correct. Except that in Tzina,
but he's really doing a reverse.
So really,
you know
see, in your scenario, he took everything off. He's putting everything on. What we originally talked about is that everything's spinning around. It's underneath.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's really still there.
Shoes
is public. Oh, shoes come off, 100%.
So, but I'm just saying the mindset is Shabbat, celebration, go home, back to Avil.
Yes, correct. Or technically, actually, more to be more precise, the whole time you're Avil, just no one's allowed to know. You're undercover Avil. Da-da-da-da-da.
But you can't wear leather shoes then.
So undercover Avil. If I showed you I was wearing leather shoes, it would show Avelut.
No, that's what I'm saying, but you're in shul, you have to wear shoes.
That's the point. So I'm an undercover Avel. When I have to hide it, I'm in public, you're going to see, so then I can't do it. Okay? So it's not that I switch from one to the other, it's that I'm all the time. Yeah, exactly. Let's continue. And that's the halacha.
Same different socks or thick socks that match?
I go by thickness. You missed the joke last night. From we did the Monday night. The Monday night I threw in my favorite comedian, some of his famous lines. Ready, Eliezer Omer. New Mishnah. Ready for this? We're moving on. Ready, Eliezer Omer. Mishecharav Bet HaMikdash. I'll give you the DVD deleted extras later. Mishecharav Bet HaMikdash. When the Bet HaMikdash is destroyed, Atzeret Kishabbat. Shavuot is like Shabbat. Now, this part that was brought here in the Gemara is really only a snippet. So let's just review what we already know from before. The Rebbe Eliezer said that when it comes to the other holidays, Pesach, Shavuot, okay, Pesach, Sukkot, it completely stops Avelut, right? What about Atzeret? What about Shavuot?
Yeah.
What about Rosh Hashanah Kippur? Same thing or no?
Yeah.
Question. Rebbe Eliezer says, once the temple is destroyed, Shavuot is just like Shabbat. That's what he says. What does that mean? It does not pause it, and it counts. And one, Yani.
Not pause it and it counts. This is a totally new concept.
No pause.
This is totally new.
No, we did this. The Mishnah already said this.
No, but
we're going back.
Stops it. We didn't say it.
This we're going back. Rebbe Eliezer says, Bet HaMikdash stops it. But after the Beit HaMikdash destroyed, it does not stop it. It's just like Shabbat. Rabban Gamliel says, Rosh Hashanah and Kippur and Shavuot, all of them are like the festivals, stop it, uproot it. Chachamim say, They don't hold like either what the Chachamim say. Shavuot, like Pesach and Sukkot, stops it.
You went back to Mishnah?
Yeah, I'm saying it outside. Chachamim say, so Shavuot, Rosh Shavuot is like the other holidays. Rosh Hashanah Kippur, like Shabbat. So it just sounds like everyone just chose a lane. Yeah. What's going on over here? So let's go through the logic slowly, clearly for all of them. Okay? This is how it works. You can't have mourning on not be disrupted by a full festival. Why? How long is a festival normally?
1 day.
Pesach, Shavuot, Pesach and Sukkot, 7 days.
7 days, yeah,
That means that if it was running and counting, what happened to your Avelut? Gone. So there's no concept when you're talking about a 7-day holiday, minimal, Sukkot is 8 days.
Overlap.
There's no concept, it has to break it.
It has to be, yeah.
Okay? So the starting point is, what's it called? Has to break it. Okay? Second starting point is, Shabbat has to not break it.
Right.
Why? We said this last time.
Pause. It's like,
But it has to not break it.
because it's 1 day. It's
No, it could pause it. In other words, it could be counted in it. But could it break it like the other
He
holidays?
said no.
No, why not?
Because it's not one of those.
Come on.
Shabbat's included in
No. What do you mean? Sort of.
Because you're not doing Avela.
No. Because there would never be Shiva.
You can't get 7 days.
In every 7 days, there's a Shabbat. So every Shabbat would be broken.
Oh, broken.
So why?
can't
So
break it.
the holidays,
You can't have a 7 day.
the holidays can't be accounted. Shabbat can't be a break it. Okay? So those are the two poles. Okay. Now comes Rabbi Eliezer, says, hold up. Rosh Hashanah and Shavuot. How long is Rosh Hashanah and Shavuot? 1 day. So
2 days.
it's the same as Shabbat.
in Israel.
Yeah.
Hold on, you got that? Even if it's two. It's not 7.
Right.
So is it possible to have Rosh Hashanah Kippur and still have a Shiva?
Yeah.
If you counted it, yes. How about Shavuot? How long is it? 1 day.
Yeah.
Right? So how long does Shavuot break it or not?
No. Delay it.
So it should be the same as Shabbat. Rebbe Eliezer says, let's go one more time. Mishachara Beit HaMikdash. Mishachara Beit HaMikdash. When the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, Atzeret ki Shabbat. Atzeret is just like Shabbat. Why? Hold on. Let's go back. Put it on mute, Doron. When it came to Shabbat, Shavuot, in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, Shavuot also broke it. Why? Even though Shavuot is 1 day,
7 days back in the day.
no.
Oh, it's because the
Even though it was only 1 day the holiday, the time of the Beit HaMikdash, let's say I, for whatever reason, did not bring my Shavuot Korban on Shavuot. The next day after Shavuot,
Shabbat.
no, I'm just saying, next day after Shavuot, I can bring the Korban again.
Israel.
2 days after Shavuot, you can bring Shavuot Korban. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 full days,
So that breaks it.
you could bring the Korban of Shavuot, which means that on some level,
It's extended.
Shavuot is a 7-dayer. Now, I'm going to show you something, because now that sounds like a little bit gas. Okay? Let's open up the Siddur for 1 second.
I know this isn't the halachas. That's okay.
Why would we miss it for 7 days?
Holidays break.
The guy was traveling?
Where's the Siddur? Hold on. Let me get a Siddur for 1 second.
We know we're breaking down.
Outside? No. Yeah.
We know what this is all. No, but some of the stuff we don't have an answer. It doesn't end. You know, this is like ripping stuff.
Shabbat Kevasi, B'Neshana.
When do you say Anna? In every Siddur, you'll have the guidelines. What day is Shavuot? What day?
49 days after.
What day is that in the calendar?
Oh, Shesh.
Shesh B'Sivan Bo Natan HaTorah LeYisrael. 6th day of Sivan. Mirosh Chodesh Sivan ad Sof Yud Bet Bo. We don't say Tachanun until day 12. Why?
Nobody asks questions.
Why is he Hishem? Because the 6 days after Shavuot are the Korban days.
Right.
So it has a day, a din of a holiday. So therefore, Shavuot in the time of the Bet HaMikdash it was continued. There was all these Korbanot. Says Rabbi Eliezer, that's only when you have a Bet HaMikdash. But nowadays you don't have a Bet HaMikdash. So in what is Shavuot still going on day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Nothing. Says Rabbi Eliezer. So what category would Shavuot fall into now? Shabbat. Logical. Smart. Says Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel says no. Even Rosh Hashanah and Kippur also like the festivals. Okay? He holds everything, including Shavuot, is everything breaks. Okay? Comes the Chachamim and they say no. Shavuot is like the 7 dayers. Even today, after the Bet HaMikdash destroyed. When it's Rosh Hashanah Kippur, they're like Shabbat. What's the logic of the Chachamim? The Chachamim say, no. The reason why you break it is because it's a 7-dayer. Shavuot is a 7-dayer. But just because we lost the temple doesn't mean Shavuot is no longer a 7-dayer. It's just not an obvious 7-dayer. Because we don't have Korbanot. But if the Bet HaMikdash was rebuilt right now, we would immediately go back to 7 days. So each one of them has their own logic. Why does Rabban Gamliel say all of them considered to be part of this? Why? Because Rabban Gamliel holds that if it's a holiday, it's a holiday. And a holiday automatically is like, festival automatically breaks. One of the other reasons that we said about the holiday is because the holiday all have the halakha of joy. And since there's a concept of joy on all the holidays, it's not about if it's 7 days or not. Therefore, Rabban Gamliel says all the holidays are enough to be able to break the thing. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Gida bar Menashe, Amar Shmuel, Rav Gida bar Menashe says in the name of Shemuel, Halacha ki Rabban Gamliel. Halacha is like Rabban Gamliel. Why is Halacha like Rabban Gamliel? Who says that everything breaks Shiva? Lenient. Excellent. Says the Gemara, to Rav Gida bar Menashe. There are some that learn the opinion of Rav Gida, the son of Menashe, on a different issue entirely. Nothing to do with this. He was ruling like, He was ruling like this opinion, right, with regards to a whole other item. Not on this. Halakha ki Rabban Gamliel. Why? The other opinion says, since anyway Rabban Gamliel is the lenient opinion, why do I need that? I get to be posek like him. That's who we would have ruled like without you too. Clear? So the second opinion says it can't be that that's what he was opining on.
Oh, he would have known that.
Because he would have known it anyway. We don't need you to say that.
So what is he saying?
What is he saying? Says the Gemara, a whole different issue that he was talking about. Kol shiloshim yom tinok yotze bechek bar minan, a person has a baby that passes away less than 30 days old. How do they take the baby out for burial? Now it's important to understand, many of the laws of mourning were designed in order to be able to show proper kavod for a person who lived his life, who passed away, and now he used to be buried with kavod. When it comes to a baby that's less than a certain age, the baby has not really lived a life. So kol shiloshim yom, until 30 days, Yotze bechek. They carry the baby out like they're holding a baby, like a live baby. Right. They don't have a casket. They don't have a bed. They just carry the baby out. V'nikbar, and it's buried bi'isha achat shnei anashim, with 3 people. It could be 3 men. It could be 1 woman and 2 men. It could be avalo bi'ish echad v'shnei nashim, but not.
He's buried with people?
Sorry, no. They're the ones that carry him out. Yeah. Okay?
I remember this from
No Kaddish or anything? Or
in fact, if the baby is killed in 30 days, it's monetary damages. It's not murder.
it's property. It's not considered a life.
It's like potential.
It's like,
But there's a soul.
But there's
There's a
monetary.
soul.
There is, but it's a lesser level, because until 30 days, the child has not indicated that it will live. The 30-day life, that line indicates that the child.
Probation period.
Yeah. Now, by the way, we're going to see exactly when this is. We're going to see one line that we throw out in just a second, okay? Now, says the Gemara, so 3 people take the baby out. It's not a full procedure. 1 man and nikba isha echad, 1 woman and 2 men, or 3 men or 3 women. But not with 1 man and 2 women. Why? What's the reason? The reason is there's laws of yichud for 1 man to be alone with 2 women. There's laws of yichud where they're not allowed to be secluded. Exactly. Right. For 2 men and 1 woman, we assume that the man is going to be, when it's 1 man and 2 women, we're worried it's more likely he'll be able to convince them to be with him. So therefore, says the Gemara, they're going out to to a secluded place. Who's allowed to bury the baby? Says the Gemara, Isha Achat, 1 woman and 2 men, but not 1 man and 2 women. Says the Gemara, Abba Shaul says, come on. That's what they're getting up to now. They're going to go bury the baby and then get on. It's a little bit unlikely. They're in a spirit of mourning. That spirit of mourning is going to make them not be thinking of just things like that. Says Abba Shaul, by the way, what you just said, what do you mean all the more reason?
Because he's under pressure and
he's weak.
He's weak. He's not
more
thinking
vulnerable.
straight.
The Zohar writes a lot about women and cemeteries. The Zohar says that the Yetzer Hara is given free, like a machine gun. Wow. And he goes to a funeral, and the men at that time are looking anything, any line that's crossed. The Malach HaMavet has the right to be able to exact a terrible punishment, and that's why some funerals, religious, they don't let the women go to the Beit HaKvar at all because of this Zohar. Okay? So the Zohar is saying very similar to Jack.
My mother said,
okay,
was
never to go to the cemetery. That was because it was al pi Kabbalah. Okay, says the Gemara, ve'en omdim alav b'shura. So the machloket between them is on this, huh?
Where did this come from?
What do you mean? We're going to do it's going to be like a breita. You'll see in a minute. Abba Shaul says that they're allowed to, even 1 man and 2 women. The halacha is they don't make the mourners line. You know how when they finish burial, there's a line of people and they all go by, the mourners go by, and the line all gives them the what's it called? The consoling. They don't do it. They don't do the Tanhumei Avelim, Tinuch Hashamayim. They don't do the beracha over the special meal after, because it's not considered like a full person passed away for the sake of the mourning of it. Ben Shiloshim, once he hits 30 days, Yotze Bedeluskema. At that point, you don't carry him out, okay? Rather, he needs to be in some form of a box. Rabbi Yehuda says, Lo Deluskema nitelet bakatef. You don't take a box that you could just put on your shoulder, small box. Rather, it needs to be a little bit bigger than that. Has to be that it's carried in the arms. So it requires at least a couple people to be able to bury the baby by the minan.
So are you insinuating there's no avelut for a baby under 30 days?
That's what the mission, literally, I'm not insinuating it.
No, I mean, we're going.
Literally, yes, no avelut.
Eliminate these items, we don't do this.
Exactly. Exactly. After 30 days, so we have this, this not tiny box. They do make the row. They say the blessing, the mourner's blessing, and as well the mourner's consolement. Okay, of Tenach Hashemayim. Ben 12 chodesh. Once he hits 12 months, i.e., the child's got a year. Yotzeh b'mita. Now it's already like in a casket. Okay, which each one of these is a progressive level of avelut and kavod. Okay, the child at 1 year old is already considered like a full, not a man, but a full human being. Okay, Rabbi Akiva says, "Hu ben shana ve'evarav keben shtayim." If he's 1 and his limbs are 2, shu.
What's the difference?
No, what does that mean? If he's 1 and his limbs are 2,
is it deformed?
So at first glance, you think that's what it means.
No, it says like a 2-year-old.
It means that if he's 1, but he's as big as a 2-year-old.
Oh.
Or if he's 2 years old, but he's tiny.
It's like my nephew.
What if he's 2 years old and he's the size of a 1-year-old? Rabbi Akiva says you have to be like a 2-year-old in one way, either in size or in the age, one or the other. Rabbi Akiva is saying that the level for mourning is a older level than the opinion before. Opinion before said 1 year. Rabbi Akiva says no. 1 year, okay, but only if he's like a 2-year-old size.
So you said after 30 days.
Levels of avelut. Correct. After 30 days, avelut. But then there's a whole halakha about the casket. That comes at 1 year, according to the Tanakama. Rabbi Akiva says it's got to be in some way like a 2-year-old. So in other words, he demands a higher level. Who ben shana ve'vara ben shnayim, or who ben shnayim, he's 2 ve'vara kemen shana, and his limbs, the size of his body is like a 1-year-old. Yotzev mitah, then he goes out on a casket. But if not, he doesn't have the mitah that he goes out on. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, hayotzev mitah. Anytime you have a case where the child is going out in this mitah in the casket, rabim matzivim alav. The masses, the public, matzivim, they cry or they yell, they scream. It's a matter of like a public mourning that a child of that age passed away. He doesn't say when he's telling you to do this. He's saying whenever you use the casket is, according to the first opinion, 1 year old. According to the second opinion,
1 and 2.
Something like a 2-year-old. Okay, Rabbi Akiva. Yes. So whenever that is, says Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, when the casket comes out, the rabbim, the masses, they have to grieve in a big way over it. But if he's less than that stage, in rabbim matzivim alav. There is mourning, but it's not like a public mourning where the whole tzibur needs to come out and go and get into the mourning. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, "Nikar l'rabim, rabim mitaskim immo." If this child was nikar l'rabim, that means that he was already. He already left the house. The people know him. They've seen him around. He's on the slide. They know the kid. All right. Once mikar lerabim mitaskim imo. At that point, they involve themselves and they're part of it. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean mitaskim imo? Mitaskim imo is more than matzivin alav. Matzivin alav means that they mourn. Matzivin alav means that they grieve, that they cry. Mitaskim imo means that they need to be part of the funeral. They have to close their work and come be part of the funeral. Loss of a child, right? Why is a child passing away? What did he do wrong? Nothing. He's kapara for the community. So we have to come out, close the stores. Yeah. So long as nikal rabim, the rabim have to be mitaskim. Eno nikal rabim, but if he was not known to the public, and rabim mitaskim imo, then they do not need to. They're allowed to continue staying at work. The Braita continues. Let's continue. Okay.
Nikar l'rabim count for less than 1, or only after 1? Because after 1, everyone does at that point.
No. That's what I was saying.
No, 2.
We're differentiating between matzivin and mitaskim. Mitaskim we didn't talk about yet. So it could be this last opinion of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah might be less than 1. It might be more than 1. It might be 2. It doesn't say. All he says is that you want to know when the public has to shut their stores after the point. What? Mitaskim.
But what about known to the public?
Nikar l'rabim. So his opinion is, you know when they shut the stores? When they know the kid.
Got it. But we didn't determine the age.
But we didn't determine the age on that. So as far as that could be, it could be older, it could be younger. It's just about when he's nikar l'rabim. At least on the surface, that's what Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah is saying.
Is there any other attachment to the 1 year, 2 year thing? Like, where does that ever appear? Like, it's 1 year, it's 2 years. Like, why is that? 30 days, I understand, right? But when you get to a year or over 30 days, why is they differentiating 1 year, 2 years? Like, why is that a significant thing? Like, he's 8 months, he's a year and 2 months. He's over 30 days, he's a baby.
So again, the halakha,
where did they get that
what we're defining here is, at what point is there an issue of kavod for the baby?
Yeah,
so there's an age. The same way 30 days got you to one stage, 1 year gets you to another stage.
Baby has a bristle at 8 days. You don't have like kavod already at the time of a baby's 8 days
old? No, because it's potential at that point. Okay? So now by the way, there's a whole item going on here in the background, which I don't want to get into, which is that the child, when we're talking about these times, 30 days, are we talking about a child that was full term or not? Because one of the opinions is that we're talking about a child that was not full term, or that we didn't know that he was full term. Therefore, the whole 30-day period is a time where he establishes that he's even a living king.
So it's not from birth.
So in that opinion, now we start to understand more the 30-day item.
Make
Okay?
sure
Yeah.
he's the guy.
Make sure he's gonna, maybe he was never gonna survive. Right? Because babies that were born preterm in the time of the Gemara says, by the way, 7 months, 9 months, no problem. 8 months, dead. That's what the Gemara says. Dead. Today, people have kids in the 8th month all the time.
Right.
No problem at all. Right? So, but back then, at that intermediate stage, guaranteed the child was not going to make it. Okay? Now, I just want to point out one item for you, because we said Nikar Rabim. So I want you to take a look at the regular Rashi for 1 second. You see Chavdalid right in the middle of the Rashi. Nikar Rabim. You see it? Shayu Makirim. You see it? Middle of the way. In Rashi. Right here, look, shuf, over here. Got it? What does it mean that they knew him? Shayu Makirim Kivar. They know the kid. Shayar Agil Latzet Min Habayit, because the kid would leave his house. So in other words, at what stage does a kid leave his house?
He walks.
As soon as he's walking. How old is that?
Year
1, year and a half, 2.
Girls earlier, boys
Right?
later.
But you're starting to see what? Hold on. You're starting to see why 1 and 2 are these numbers? Exactly. Is the kid talking? You know? All right? Nikal Rabim. That's what Rashi says over here. Remember we told you in the beginning of the Masechet that there's a disagreement of which is the actual OG Rashi? And this one says Rashi, Ktav Yad, the manuscript of Rashi, and most opinions say that this is actually probably the real Rashi, the one on the side. Okay? Now let's look at Rashi on the side. Let's see, you tell me if Rashi is the same thing or not. Nikal Rabim, also about half the way down, in the tiny letters. You see it? Shaya Gadol Kavar, he's already big. Shaya Ragil, Latzet Vilavo. What does he say? No. Where are you? Lechem in Abayit. No, you're in the small Rashi.
Oh, the small one.
I'm going to the small one now. Yeah. Go to the small one. Yeah. On the side, here. Shuf. Jonah, here.
Rabim?
Oh, small.
On the small.
Oh, I got it.
Shaya Gadol Kvar, the kid is big enough already. Shaya Ragil, that's it. Vilavo, he was used to coming and going. Lebet HaKnesset.
Brought him to shul.
Go to shul.
They know.
That ain't 1 or 2.
It's not 1 or 2 at all.
You bring a kid 1 or 2, someone's in the shul's going to kill him. You're going to meet him, make a funeral after he comes to shul.
This is like 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5.
4 or 5, whatever the number is. But it's not 1 or 2.
No.
Okay? So fascinating how the tiny difference. He says, Latzet, to go and come from the house. He says to go and come to the Bet Knesset, to the shul. Yeah.
Rashi's twin.
Very, very different.
Pasta?
One's a much older age.
Who's
Okay?
this Rashi in pasta?
So no, this one is the one that actually they say is more likely to be the real Rashi.
The
one on
final
the
version.
no,
The other
one
they
was
thought
work
this
in
one
progress.
this manuscript was his.
Yeah.
It turns out that this manuscript is his. Why? Because you see other people quoting Rashi, and what are they quoting? This one, the little one. So that's why a lot of times they say Rashi Ktav Yad, they give it more, and that's why they put it in the Gemara afterwards. They give it more like credence. Okay.
So the other one cannot overrule the little one.
It's not really like that, because it's also an opinion of the Rishonim, but it's someone else.
But it's raising the
We don't know who it is, but it's a pirush on the Gemara, right? But it's written back then. Okay. Now let's just bring one more point. Which one of these opinions sits more with you? Regular Rashi or Rashi Ktav Yad?
Regular Rashi.
Why?
Because they bring him to the Makola, they bring him out, the town knows him, the women know him, the men
Walking
know him.
around.
He's
He's
part
the
of the
guy.
community.
It just says Latzet Min Habayit.
Yeah, that means he's
Yeah,
active.
goes
Plays
to
with the other
playground.
kids.
You think okay? Moving around. You say
I like the little guy better.
you? Why do you like the little guy?
He's involved. He's in the keys of other kids, friends. Sees the other neighbors.
The only difference was shul, though.
I like
That
the
was
shul.
difference
I like
between
the
two
shul.
No, I
Rashi.
don't
But
think
why do you like the shul?
He's part of the community. Everybody knows
Or
him.
maybe he doesn't go. He lives far from the shul.
So let me tell you.
Little guy.
Here's my take. You go to the park. You go to Makola. You see a few people. You go to the shul. That's where everyone's gathered.
Everyone's there.
What's the language of the Gemara?
In these days,
That people know.
Eno nikar la rabim.
but in these days that we had
To the masses.
But in these days we had one backyard with.
He doesn't
8
even
houses
say
around.
Makola, by the way.
said that.
He just says walking out of his house.
But the store
Maybe to his front
closed the
yard.
store.
Huh?
You said the storekeepers closed their store. That means the storekeepers would know them. the kid would have gone to the store.
No. No. We're talking about everybody.
Right.
So let's say I'm a blacksmith. The kid never came to sharpen his sword.
I didn't come when he was in shul either.
Yeah, but he also closes. It's not about the stores that the kid came into.
No.
It's about the fact that if the masses know him,
Yeah.
so then the masses got to close.
Right.
Okay? And when do you see the masses?
Everyone goes to school.
There goes the shul. So
But in
that's...
this day and age, there's 100 shuls.
Sorry?
Which shul do you?
Any shul.
Doesn't matter.
Any shul. Because it's a place of mass
In a
gathering.
Public, in a
Yeah.
public appearance. The kid
Public appearances.
domain.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
kids
That's
make
why I like...
public-
That's why I like Rashi in the Ktav Yad. That's why I like that. Because it fits more to me in the concept of the Rabbim knowing him. Okay. Regardless, let's continue. So, all of this, by the way, we haven't even gotten to where we were going to. So relax. Okay?
I try.
Now, the Braita says, okay, Umahen behesped. What's the halacha about hesped? About making eulogies now. Rabbi Meir b'shem Rabbi Yishmael Omer. Rabbi Meir said in the name of Rabbi Yishmael, Aniyim b'nei shalosh, ashirim b'nei chamesh. When a kid comes to a poor person, they make a eulogy on a 3-year-old. When it comes to rich people, they make the eulogy only 5 years and up. Okay? Now, what's the reason? Why would we go less or more? Okay? Fascinating. Rashi says, Aniyim b'nei shalosh, לפי שהעני מצטער על בניו יותר מן העשיר, לפי שאין לו שמחה אחרת.
Give him something.
It's their
He has nothing
treasure.
else in his life.
Their treasure.
Give it to him.
Only thing he has is his family.
Right.
So we got to
You have a
make...
chance to give him something when he doesn't
Exactly.
have much, and he-
So we need to error more on the side of the ani than on the side of the ashir. There's some that translated this different,
pity, like,
that the poor people care more about their kids. So it's more of
Anything
a...
else to focus
The
on.
rich
No, in other words, not eno
more
simcha.
valuable.
Not that
They
he...
don't have much.
Yeah,
So the kids are more valuable.
That's the nicer way of saying it.
I'm being nice.
The harsher way of saying it is, the guy's all day in business, couldn't care less about his kids.
Okay.
So a 5-year-old kid takes till he's 5, till his father even knows he's there. Okay. You know, but again, there's a nicer way of saying it, which is, I think, the way Rashi puts it. Rabbi-
Yosef says they deprive themselves from their needs to give over. They don't have it. They're giving from whatever they need to take care of to give to the kid.
So there's more of a
More
misirut nefesh from the ani. There's also other things too, I think, as well. There's other things as well that ani, the guy is suffering so much, right? Now to lose this on top,
And no pity.
it's
Not get the-
there's more tanchum, not because the kid is more dear to him. That's Rashi saying.
He's more-
I'm so throwing the guy's already half dead. He's already at the edge. You know, now you take this hazit, the guy's gonna
Give him
collapse.
something.
Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishmo. Rabbi Yehuda says in who's Shemo. Rabbi Meir said b'shem Rabbi Yishmael one thing. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishmo. Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rabbi Yishmael, Aniyim b'nei chamesh, ashirim b'nei shesh. No, poor kid, the poor child is 5. Ashirim b'nei chamesh. When it comes to rich guy, 6. So he gives a different set of 5 and 6, but still maintains the difference of age of ani.
he's not-
Focusing on the aniyim.
So he's not-
No Rabbi Akiva on this. Ubnei zekenim, says the Gemara, ubnei zekenim, and let's say you have someone, old guy, who gave birth to a child in his old age, ki bnei aniyim. It's also like bnei aniyim, because of how dear the child is to a bit, like it says by Yosef, what does it say? That Yaakov loved him because he's bnei zikunim. He was born to him in his old age. So the halakha is that when it comes to an elderly person who loses a child by minan, okay, the age is lower. There's other opinions as well. Rashi in the Ktav Yad brings a different understanding. Take a look for 1 second. Rashi says, what's the reason? Zekenim mamash kibnei aniyim lefi shelo yicholim latzet velavo b'nei metaplim bahen.
So we're following the halakha.
Hold up.
Wait, say it again.
The guy's old. He was banking on this child to help him in his old age. So it's more painful for him,
may not
not
get
just because
another
it's more precious for him,
It's more valuable.
because he needed the kid. So it's a much more of a loss. So he needs a eulogy as well. Rashi in the Ktav Yad also says, one opinion is, no, Bnei Zekenim does not mean old people. It means Talmidei Chachamim,
Wise.
people. Because we use the word Zekenim sometimes to mean the wise. So on this, after this whole side item, Amar Rav Gidal, by Menasya, Amar Rav Gidal, Menasya said the name of Rav, Halacha Rabbi Yehuda. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, Shama Mishum Rabbi Ishmael. His halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rabbi Ishmael, that it's 5 and 6 and not 3 and 5 like the first opinion. So when we said before, a halacha in the name of Rav Gidal by Menasya, and then the second opinion said we didn't need him to tell us that because Rabbi Gamliel over there was already the more lenient opinion. You know who he was doing? He was breaking the Avilut. So I told you we go to a whole item. Then we come all the way back to the beginning. He was opining that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda on this matter, which is 5 and 6 and not 3.
So the 2-year-old now up to 5 and 6.
No.
About breaking up
Just about eulogizing.
How to eulogizing.
Right, but
yes,
the
we
whole
moved
thing
it
goes
up.
back to Rabban Gamliel.
No. The second opinion says he wasn't talking about that. What was he ruling on? He was ruling on a different braita. On this braita, what was he ruling? That you go 5 and 6 and not 3 and 5. By the way, when I was learning this the first time, I was like, thank you very much. I'm now back where I started. Why? Which is more lenient? Making a eulogy for 3 to 5 or making a eulogy for 5 to 6? 5 to 6. So I would have known it anyway.
Lenient, sure.
Again, I would have known it.
Right.
Without him.
But they didn't know, you knew.
Doesn't it go all the way back to Rabban Gamliel about pausing for the holiday?
No. Nothing to do with that.
So then we just went on a Rabban Gamliel.
No, the first opinion was that this man, Rav Gidal Bar Menasya, he was ruling like Rav Gamliel about pausing. Before
this happened.
Second opinion, he was not talking about that at all.
Talking about this.
A whole other ace guy. Got it.